Good morning, traders. Today is December 7th, Monday, first day of the trading day, and time is 12:56 a.m. Today I'm going to be making an analysis on the Aussie yen, the Audjpy. And what are the tools I'm going to be using to make this analysis? I'm going to be using a top-down, bottom analysis, top-down analysis. I'm going to be using price structure, psychological levels, and a breakout strategy. Now, first we're going to be starting with the weekly, and we're going to analyze down to the 15 minutes time frame. So what can we see here on the weekly time frame? We can see that we are trading at a very nice support turn resistance level. If you notice, this level which we are trading at is a level which has been a support before in this region and now has turned to a resistance in this region, and it's a very strong resistance here. So what are the things that we're going to be looking for? So we're going to be expecting a price break above this resistance level. So we see that for the past few months we have been on a nice downtrend. We have been on a nice downtrend here. You can see it, a nice downtrend, and just of recent, during this year, we see that we've now started to have a nice uptrend. Now, this is the previous low, and we've broken and closed above it. So, price structure is telling us that we might be having a possible move to the upside, starting a uptrend or an uptrend on the weekly time frame. Now, let's drop down to the daily time frame to see what information that place has for us. Well, the daily time frame is also an interesting one. First of all, we see that we traded, this is the support line that was mentioned in the weekly time frame. You can see it, and if you notice, that support line is a very nice one because it's on the psychological level there at the 77 yen or 77 psychological level figure. If I drop down to the 5 minutes or 15 minutes, you'll be seeing that figure well. Is it down here? This is here. So the 77 figure down there. So now let's go back to the daily time frame and see what we can get from there. First of all, we see the action of price trying to break above it, and we can see the rejection in this place and this place also. And we can see that the next one, what happened last week, was that we broke above it with a very strong momentum. And we see that momentum that we broke above it is a very strong one. So what we will be expecting using the breakout strategy, we are going to be expecting a nice pullback. And did we get that pullback? Let's drop down to the 15 minutes to see that we got that pullback. On the 15 minutes, we can see that we got the nice pullback. Let's go higher. So we'll see. Good. You see how we broke through it here. We broke through with a nice momentum. Then we have that pullback to that 77 region. In fact, if you notice the price action, we just touched it and bounced off the 77 round figure just around here. So that tells us that I have a confirmation now that it has broken out above it. But there's still a clauses in the weekly. We can see that from the weekly we still have to break and close. We have to break and close above this in the weekly. If we break and close above it, it will be a nice one, and if we also retest it on the weekly. But we can see that on the daily we've already made that, so we'll be expecting such a bigger move on the weekly. So now we've seen that we have a breakout on the daily time frame, and that breakout has also had a retest on that level I shaded down here. So let's drop down to the 15 minutes time frame to see how we can use this information and place our wonderful trade here. So now if you notice in this 77.80 figure, round figure also, this level, we'll see that we had a nice double bottom in which a retail mindset will set as a stop loss, and we'll see the sharp spike that came to take out liquidity there before it went back up to the moon, and it is going. So where can we place for entries? And we also see the 15 minutes time frame also too. We see that we've broken structure. Also, we see we have a nice uptrend. We have a nice uptrend here, like this, uptrend. And now we have a nice pullback. And in that pullback, we could see that we have broken that previous low here to the upside. We've broken it to the upside. Now we're waiting for a retest here, although it has retested, but has not really touched that. So it may be a possible place to place a buy. It has not tested it and go up. So if it does test it, if it gets to that region, we'll place a buy and we'll place our orders there. So we've also seen that liquidity has taken and has gone to the moon. And this place is a very nice place to take our trade, because if we see, it's a place of previous support, turn resistance. We can see pullbacks there. This place, here it was a resistance, here it was a support, another support, another support, broke through, broke through, broke through, make it as a resistance again. And now we expect it to make a support. So we're expecting the price to fall down here. We're expecting the price to fall down to this region before we expect it to go up. So if you notice, it will feel the imbalance here and be like as if it is testing the support again, making that previous resistance a support, which is a nice setup for a long or a buy. So what is it that we're having for the news that will help us? So we're going to have the news of the JPY coming on Tuesday. The JPY GDP news is going to be coming on Tuesday, and we're going to be watching that to give us a confirmation either we're going to be bullish on our Aussie yen. And when we see that, it's going to be a nice one on Tuesday. But meanwhile, we're waiting for this setup to pan out. I had taken a buy already for this setup last week when the candle was still a bearish one. I took this setup because I saw it. And sorry, the network is really bad here. Good. So I took the buy at this region here. This region. Immediately I see this pin bar form, and I took for the buy. I also placed the buy limit in case it comes to retest that. 77 region, the 77 round figure region, and I made it a little bit up because of spread reasons. Also, I placed my stop loss just below the low of this candle that blasts through. So it is what it is. So what are my targets? I'm looking at the 78 round figure as my target. 78 round figure as my target here. And it's just above the high to take about the sell side, buy side liquidity that is resting above this high here. There are many orders or stop losses here, so I'm expecting to take it. So we'll be expecting the confirmation more on Tuesday when we see the Japanese yen GDP. That is a quarterly. This is their third quarter results for the month. So basically, that is it for the Aussie yen. I'm having a bullish bias for it because the yen has been weak and the Aussie is strong based on the Commitment of Traders report. And once again, to fire around this video up, I noticed that from my previous videos, some of my viewers in the community did not really understand some of the terminologies and the use of how to trade news. I'll be making another video about how to use the news in the forex market. Until then, enjoy and have a nice, wonderful trading.